Loud. Good morning, everyone. For those who don't know me, my name is Helena Natt. I'm the Executive Director with the Greater New York Chamber of Commerce. And we are so excited to be putting on this webinar, the Metaverse. And it's presented by ROTS Worldwide. And I am really excited about this because I have met the ROTS Worldwide team at a couple of networking events, and we've been talking about the Metaverse. And I've had one-on-one conversations with Tiffany, and she kind of looks at me and sits there and says, you need to know more and more and more. And I said, absolutely. And this would be great for our members to really do a deep dive into the Metaverse, so to say. And so right now I'm going to turn it over to them. So first of all, welcome everyone. Put your information in the chat if you'd like, and also the questions. We're going to do a Q&A after their presentation. This is being recorded, so you can always go back. It's going to be on Chamber TV. But again, it's a great opportunity for us to learn how to grow your brand, grow your business, learn about the Metaverse, and how you can get your business involved in the Metaverse. So Tiffany, take it away. And thank you again for both of you, Rami, for hosting this. And I'm really excited to get this going.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Helena. Good morning, everyone. Yes, this topic of the Metaverse is a very hot one all around, actually. And it's moving so fast that in a way, it's like everything we covered today might change tomorrow. That's just how quick things are. But the whole vibe in this space is to really push people to engage in the Metaverse, to really understand it, to really start playing, and just be imaginative, because it's going to be a very lucrative space. So quick background, ROTS Worldwide is a creative communications agency based here in New York City. We help brands create and communicate their story, as well as the products, the stories around the products and services they sell. We have a deep focus right now inside this Metaverse space because we see the potential of its limitless possibilities in creativity and entertainment. And we really, truly love those two pieces. And that's what we're here for. So quickly, just to go over the discussion points, we're going to be talking about, it's a very high level presentation. This can be hours, by the way. So we're just going to quickly breeze over some things. And then if you guys like what you're hearing, please follow back up with us and we can talk and continue. But right now, it's just going to be, what's the Metaverse? What's all the hype about? What does it mean for your business? A few ways for your business to engage, and then a quick Q&A at the end. So quickly, the Metaverse, simply put, is actually just a virtual reality space in which users can interact with computer-generated environments and other users, such as ourselves. But before we go into the Metaverse even further, it's quick to just understand even how the Metaverse got here. And that's just with the evolution of the internet. So there's 3 phases right now. I'm sure you've heard of Web 3. That's the phase we're in. The first web was all about consuming, reader only. The second stage was a creation. It was all about the creator moment. And now the third phase is really about how these creators can monetize assets. So looking at it from a brand point of view and what was created, the very first web was all around Google was created, AOL, emails. The second one was all about the platforms that were being created, Facebook, Instagram, Uber. And now we're getting into the third platform where you're going to start seeing things like Sandbox and just different types of brands, Coinbase, that are going to really help propel this environment. So the last time the internet went through a shift of this magnitude, Amazon, Netflix, and Google went from narrow businesses to huge internet titans. And they're saying the Metaverse is here for the next dominant players in this industry. So again, the Metaverse, it's really just a virtual reality space in which users can interact with computer-generated environments and other users. 2 big source points for this is a movie that Steven Spielberg created called Ready Player One, and then there's this novel that Neil Stephenson did called Snow Crash. So those 2 sources, definitely recommend going to check that out. If you haven't heard of those, it'll definitely give you a quick vision of what the Metaverse is. And now to go over some examples of what brands are doing inside these spaces of the Metaverse, Robbie's going to take you through a few of those.
Yeah, and also let's talk about some of the big players in the platforms are embracing the metaverse. The first one we have here is Roblox, which is a gaming platform and a game creation program that was established in 2006, and it was a gaming only. And that is one of the big platforms that is transitioning into the metaverse. A couple of industries that are embracing the metaverse rapidly is music and fashion. The first example we have here is the pop music artist, Lil Nas X. He performed for an audience of millions across 2 days, 4 shows. It was a weekend. The shows gathered 33 million views across all performances. Mind you, the biggest arena in the world can only hold about 55,000 attendees right now. So you can see the scale and how the magnitude of the viewership the platform can help artists with their visibility and also brands. Another example, and this is more on the fashion side, we have Gucci. Gucci created a digital-only items, and it was dropped on Roblox under an environment called the Gucci Garden, where players were able to purchase digital items, Gucci digital items, and also interact in the environment. We have another platform that's a big player right now is Fortnite. Roblox is more for the audiences 16 under. Fortnite it's more 18 and over. Fortnite has been around since 2017. It's a newer platform. It started also as a multiplayer game, and now brands are utilizing this as a way to connect with the audience and their fans. Music and fashion, same thing. We have Travis Scott. He did a 5-concert performance which drew 27 million unique visitors, and it was seen more than 45 million times. Usually for his performances, he earns about $1.7 million. With this, he was able to earn $20 million. So you can see also the difference there. Balenciaga became the first fashion brand to drop a collection within Fortnite for you to dress your avatar, which is your player within the platform. But they were also being able to translate that into their store. So wherever they were selling in the platform, you were also able to purchase it in the stores in real life. So you can see like how the brand activation was just exciting for their audience, which is a forward technology audience. We also have another platform that's a big player right now, formerly known as Facebook. They rebranded themselves as Meta, and now with the help of Oculus, which they acquired a few years back, they are bringing us the Horizon Worlds, which is this app where you can create worlds and experiences from your home. And a lot of brands are utilizing this as a way to connect with fans. A big example, recently Wendy's launched the Wendyverse as a means to promote engagement and a sense of community among their fans and among their younger fans. So you go into the Wendyverse, you were able to go into the restaurant, play games, and all around engage with the brand in ways that was never really done before. And they're very excited about utilizing the metaverse as a way to connect. Another app that is very popular within the platform is Big Screen, and it's an app where you can work with all kinds of people and people from around the world. Businesses are utilizing it as a way to connect with workers and in a more enhanced way. We also have within that app ways to not only play games, but you can also do presentations and have speeches and all kinds of experiences. Another 2 platforms that are dominating the metaverse space are Decentraland and Sandbox. These are real estate platforms. Actually, you can purchase land, Decentraland is the first and is the most established multiplayer role-playing metaverse. While you can never move in and visit physically, you can buy and sell land in Decentraland. And the cost right now blew past $3.5 million for a lot. There's over 9,000 lots of land right now available, and people are purchasing these lands and being able to create virtual experiences. So brands are using it, music artists are using it, and it's something very, very hot right now. We have also Sandbox, which was released in 2018. It has over 166,000 lots of land. They are both powered by crypto. For Sandbox specifically, there was an article recently, somebody bought a land next to the Snoopverse, which is Snoop Dogg's experience that he has created. He basically has a house in Sandbox, and somebody purchased the next door lot for $450,000, which is mind-blowing. We have not only people are using it for gaming and for brand experience, but another way to use the metaverse is for training. And Walmart is spearheading this with their employees. They launched the Walmart Academy, and they provided all their employees with VR goggles, and they're able to do virtual training all across the world. Another industry is the health industry, is utilizing the VR to train doctors and students, where you can actually mimic real life procedures. They're also using it, this is a great example, they're using VR to help pediatric patients with burn injuries. And in the findings, when the patients are in VR, they experience less pain than when they're not using it. They're also utilizing virtual reality with in regards to mental health, and helping patients revisit experiences, but also as a way to relax and as a way to experience all kinds of environments in a more controlled way than ever before. And that was the last case study that we have.
Yeah, so the industry, I mean, this thing is moving so fast. Like I was saying before, Citibank actually just released a report last Thursday stating that the metaverse represents a potential of $8 to $13 trillion of opportunity by 2030. And it could boast as many as 5 billion users. So, I mean, there's a little over 7 billion people in the world. So to be able to say there's gonna be 5 billion people inside the metaverse, I think you're really starting to see the potential and why it's important for companies to really start understanding what this is and how they're gonna interact with it. So early investment opportunities that Citi called out, they said there's 5 important building blocks. Number 1 is the operating systems. This is what's actually connecting the people and the content that's being seen. Number 2 is blockchain that decentralizes economic systems and ownership of digital assets. This is so people can like exchange art as commerce, for example. Number 3, natural user interfaces. So for example, voice control and gestures for a greater user immersion. Number 4 is extended reality headsets. So more of those headsets and interesting ways of getting submersed into the stories and experiences. And then number 5, cloud networking infrastructure, which this isn't gonna go away anytime soon, just because when you're building inside the metaverse, the amount of computing space it needs to be able to create an immersive experience is pretty massive. So cloud networking is a big one. It is seen as a high risk area right now, just because it's still in the early stages of development. There's a bunch of different risks and challenges in technology, regulation, privacy, and crypto that are going to need to be overcome before widespread adoption can actually take place. But it's still definitely something that people need to explore. So in regards to how this is going to affect your business and the best way to engage, there's really a lot of speculation, but you can start imagining and experimenting now. You kind of just as a recap of what we've already shown, look what's happening, right? So there's more premium live event experiences. There's new pathways for content development, new revenue possibilities, increased visibility for your brand and business, improved corporate training and development, more engaging feedback opportunities, and access to greater connections and information sharing. So a few just closing remarks before we get into the Q&As. It's really about, will you set yourself to be the next Blockbuster or the next Amazon? Because right now is the time. So start building new strategies today, explore the potential of new products and services, and train your executives on the technologies that will soon be the foundations to your business. While we are all at the early days of the metaverse, it will advance very quickly. If you've looked at anything from where we are from 2017 to where we are now, if companies don't act now, they're going to find themselves operating in worlds designed by and for someone else. So now is the time to jump in. And then real quickly in regards to ROTS, our Web3 capabilities, we can help with consulting, creative, production, blockchain, tokens, and NFTs in this space. So don't be afraid to reach out. And with that, Helena, you wanted lots of time for Q&A. Hopefully we didn't blow through things too quickly, but let's get into it.
Okay, everyone. So put your questions into the chat. Hold on for a second. People want to know, will this presentation be emailed to us? So that's up to the ROTS Worldwide team. So they said yes, the presentation will be. It is being recorded on Chamber TV. So so we have that going. Someone said, Victor Lee, I think of the internet as a single place where I can jump from one website to another. Is the metaverse similar, or is it a separate places that I can access only through a specific platform and specialized hardware?
Yeah, there's still specific platforms. There are still some blockages if you don't have certain equipment. But the future, it's because, like, for example, if you look at Sandbox and Decentraland, right? Sandbox is its own platform with its own real estate that people are buying. And so is Decentraland. So there are still borders across things.
Thank you. Mitigating for risk. Where are the biggest areas of opportunities for an investor? I was actually thinking about that too while you were doing a presentation. What are the biggest investment areas for a business owner? Good question.
Yeah, I mean, for sure in the crypto security space, right? Because of all the money that's being exchanged. And then definitely just in the creative, the entertainment, like how we can make this the next Hollywood.
Are there certain companies that we should be looking at that are the leaders in this type of future economy, technology?
The ones that we showed, for sure, look at those.
Yeah.
Meta, of course, which was Facebook, is always in the headlines. There's a few others that we didn't list, but if you just go, when we email this deck out, if you just go back and look at the ones and the case studies, you're going to have more than enough.
Got it. Hold on for 1 second. Some people are adverse to the group goggles as it makes them dizzy. Is this being addressed?
Yes, the first versions, oof, those were so bad. now it's way better, but it's going to continue to get even more.
Yeah, with technology on it, especially. Yeah. How do we look at it's moving along. How do we look at Sandbox? Is it an app?
It is. You can download it as an app, and you can download it as an app through your goggles, through your phone. You can actually access it through your phone too, but when you put the goggles on is the most immersive experiences. But there will be a lot more things done outside the goggles because that is a barrier to entry. Not everyone has the goggles, and it is kind of expensive. So there's tons and tons of technology being built right now to give people experiences outside the goggle.
And specifically with Decentraland and Sandbox, they're running on blockchain. So you will need a wallet, a crypto wallet, to be able to access those two platforms.
Great point.
And when you say crypto wallet, you mean that you have to go through an app and set up like
Yes.
it's almost like setting up a Fidelity or a Charles Schwab account, correct?
Yes.
I'm trying to be the liaison for
Right, exactly. And then you get your wallet. And then when you go to these sites, you have to connect that wallet into these sites. And now you're ready to, now you're in for business.
Got it. Hold on for 1 second. If you have an apparel line, how can you go about getting involved in the metaverse? There's a couple of people. I know Michelle Benjamin is on here that is involved in jewelry. Susan Dorsavani. It's coming up halfway, but I apologize. Susan, I don't know what company you are with, but if you have an apparel line, how can you go and get involved in the metaverse? Good question.
I mean, there's a couple ways. First, you want to figure out how to digitize that asset. But even just as an NFT, you know, you can start with NFTs, or you could actually look to go in and digitize and get your skin inside Fortnite, or your create attire inside Roblox. So there's like two or three ways.
Yeah, and also right now, it's not just a way to monetize. Like brands shouldn't look at this just as a way to necessarily make money right now, but also to give their audience different experiences, and also even connecting with the next generation of buyers, which are the tech savvy, the tech natives that are embracing this technology. So that's what brands are mostly doing in this space right now, just giving people an opportunity to experience the brands in ways that have never been done before. And the beauty of it all, that it doesn't have to replicate real life. If you're a fashion brand, you could have a dress made out of fire if you want, as a way to make people excited about your brand. And that doesn't necessarily translate into real life, but it's just about the experience.
Great point. Yeah, it's this space is all about building community, finding community, right? And then that's kind of like the way brands need to look at everything right now. It's brands need to look at themselves. We always compare them to like music artists, right? So if you're a music artist, say you're a Cardi B, if you don't have any fans, you're not selling anything, right? So she has a label, but she's still in control of having to build her own community. As a brand, you have to build your own community, or the tree's going to fall into a silent forest.
Which, you know, you're leading into a good segue for this, because a lot of the people on here are business, you know, they're business entrepreneurs representing, you know, nonprofits to, you know, small, medium-sized companies, major corporations. So what are the best ways for a small business to get involved? Any examples?
I mean, it just really depends on what that business is, right? So let's first start with, what is your objective as a business, right? What are you trying to do? What are you trying to establish yourself? What do you want the world to see you as? And then however you want the world to see you as, what makes most sense to enter? So, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, because you could be active, but you could also be passive as of right now, and at least go in there and experience what is it like and what other people are doing. But it's limitless, and that's the beauty of it. And also because it's so new, we are all building this. So there's no right or wrong answer necessarily, but it's almost like understanding what the opportunities are and how to what the metaverse is right now, and seeing like, well, I'm a lawyer, so maybe I can start doing virtual consultations. And you know, in medical or music and fashion are the ones that are like not the easiest, but they play a lot with art in experiences, so that's kind of like a no-brainer for them. But there's so many things that people can
even
do.
Just a meeting space, like even, you know, like a lot of people are working from homes, you know, maybe instead of just the video, let's go into one of these rooms and let's, you know, play something and all watch it together, or let's do a presentation inside the metaverse just so we can understand, or inside one of these experiences so we can understand how it all works.
We actually created a world in Horizon to have meetings, and we have had a few meetings in there, and it's just a completely different experience.
Completely different experience.
You guys, you know what, we're going to do a follow-up. If you, Tiffany, and if you can just write this down to maybe show someone that experience
Okay.
Because we'll take it to the next level at the next webinar for this, because I think a lot of people don't have that experience. Like most of the people on here are, we're on the Zooms and we're not experiencing what you are explaining. So more of a visual on a follow-up would be really good. Someone in, you kind of hit on it. I'll address it. Can you explain blockchain?
Yes, blockchain is a technology that's come about actually because of Web3, which is great, but it's basically just a ledger. It's a transparent way that people are doing business on a ledger that it cannot be altered. So it's like, as soon as something is made, it's noted in this ledger. You can't go backwards, and that's it. So it's like,
and it's fully transparent.
So it's almost like a copyright.
Yeah, and it's a technology that is basically powering all of Web3.
And smart contracts,
NFTs, everything that we're talking about is being run on blockchain.
Interesting. Thank you. Can you give us places to invest in Robinhood? Everyone's going back for the investment. They're like, I got to get onto this, I'll make some money. Can you give us some places to invest in Robinhood? For example, I know we can't invest in the metaverse, but where can we invest? I think you mentioned that in your, on one of your slides.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay.
And, you could honestly Google, hottest platforms to invest in the metaverse, and you will see top opinions.
And what's interesting about the investing right now, for example, Decentraland, people are buying land to rent it out, like just mimicking real estate. So you buy your land and they're renting it out for businesses to create their experiences, and also for people to advertise. You can actually buy billboards and advertise your business within that world.
This is crazy.
Yeah, there's a company that just was launched, I don't know, maybe a year or almost a year ago now. They're like the Airbnb of the metaverse. So they're doing exactly what Robbie was saying with coming in and renting spaces out.
Yeah.
Wow. Someone wants to know, they said, where do you buy Googles? I think you meant goggles.
Yeah.
Where do you buy goggles?
Amazon has them. You just type Oculus 2 goggles or do a review, see which goggles you like more, because there's Apple's getting ready to drop a pair.
Mm-hmm.
There's Google Glass that was coming, then it just kind of faded away, but there's going to be a new set coming out soon. So we have a set of Oculus 2. They're not too expensive. I would recommend just grabbing some of those.
And it's easy to use because you don't need to plug it into a computer. Everything is in your goggles. Usually you have to plug
hands-free.
Yeah, and it's like more for gaming, but the Oculus 2 is just perfect as an entry point to the metaverse.
And they do say you have to get used to it. So as you continue to play more inside the goggles, you start understanding you start balancing out. You don't get so sick.
Which industry has its own platform or share platforms?
The social media industries. Look at, Meta now, Meta is huge. Fortnite is basically considered a platform with its gigantic community. And so is Roblox, Animal Kingdom.
Disney's working on one.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. Are there brands better than others? Certain brands better than others?
That's all subjective, but as far as who's pushing really hard, we like what Balenciaga's doing. We like what Gucci's doing. We love the way that Wendy's came in and played. So there's brands that are doing it right. And there's no right or wrong, like Robbie was saying. You'll hear a lot. There are no experts right now in the space. So if anyone's saying they're an expert, they're a fraud, because it's just moving so quickly. It's just really who's got the time to invest in learning and riding the wave with it.
I appreciate that, for everyone that's on here, that it just shows how knowledgeable and how honest, Tiffany and Rami are, because most people will say, oh, it's not changing. It is changing. And they have been talking about it. It changes every minute of every day. So I appreciate that honesty on that. what else? Someone is looking for the app on Sandbox. Do you go to the App Store?
You actually go on to sandbox.com.
Okay, go to sandbox.com. And you know what? They are I'm reading the chat. Reach out to them. They'll have their contact information in the chat. You'll be getting their information so you can reach out to them to set up more meetings with them. So to address that, can you speak about potential regulatory oversight moving forward? Is this on the radar for the federal government?
Yes, because of the commerce that's being exchanged, especially with coins, right? So a lot of people, what they're doing with coins and investing inside, I don't want to talk too off topic, but yeah, it's mostly with the cryptocurrencies, the regulation and how things are being traded.
Yeah, and privacy as well is a concern. And there's a few cases of people having issues with
sexual harassment.
Yeah, sexual harassment within the metaverse in their avatars, which is again fascinating because it's translating into that world. So there's a lot to be done in terms of security for kids and for everybody.
Yeah, that's gonna that is the regulatory on that and the bills that will be written is going to be very interesting to see how that transform, and because it changes so quickly on that. Are there virtual try-on capabilities? Where can I make NFTs? Also, any recommendation application for online art exhibition? Is there a plugin for Shopify e-commerce site to embed any of these apps? Also, a follow-up, is it easy for non-tech audience to visit the metaverse to see fashion show or online exhibit?
That was all one question?
Yeah, that was, I know who that is, Michelle. She's an active member with the Greater New York Chamber of Commerce, amazing jewelry designer. She, you know what, you should, Tiffany and Rami will answer that, but, do, like I said, follow up with Tiffany and Rami as one-on-ones after this presentation, but I don't know if you can answer any of what I just asked.
Yeah, can you ask the first one again?
Let's go. Are there any virtual try-on capabilities where I can make NFTs?
Virtual, I mean, an NFT is it's a non-fungible token, right? So an NFT is basically, I could take a picture and upload this, it could be considered an NFT, so NFT is really just
it's a token, and you upload it into the blockchain and you assign it value and you describe what it is. I mean, what the beauty of NFTs is that it's open, completely open. There's no rules. A lot of people think that it needs to be like a three-dimensional drawing. No, people are selling alcohol as NFTs. People are selling poems. They sold the first tweet ever. They're selling memes. They're selling all kinds of things that are NFTs. And the one thing that to note is that the most popular ones are the ones who have built communities. So it's all about community. The more people know about you, the more successful your NFT will be. I mean, there are NFTs being sold for millions of dollars. And then the virtual try-on that she was referring to, that's a completely different thing. But there are a lot of applications right now that allow you to design and to upload your items and then being able to utilize in augmented reality, which is another interesting point, because the metaverse is not only the virtual world. It's extended as anything that can enhance reality, and augmented reality is a big part of what fashion is doing, especially with try-ons. You can take your phone and then you can actually put the garments on you, and people are doing it with eyewear, makeup, and it's quite realistic. And even furniture actually is another industry. You can go, IKEA is using it. Before you purchase, you can actually measure and put the item in your living room, in your phone, and look at it. So that's another way to see to look at the metaverse, not just through virtual reality, but through extended reality and augmented reality.
Yeah, and Snap is actually really leading the way in augmented reality. Snapchat, remember them from back in the day? So Snap, if any research on Snap, you will see cutting edge augmented reality and use cases.
Good to know, because their stock just tanked and I own that stock. So
Don't let go of it. You got, well, here I am giving.
no, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. And you know what? I really want to emphasize, and I don't know a lot, this is my first time for learning about this, but I'm keying in on what they're saying, with the audience that are listening. It's not about selling, and correct me if I'm wrong. It's about, the following, and you're creating your community. I was looking for that word, so thank you. So it's really important that, I guess, on this aspect of it, it's not your website where people come and they shop, or they come and they're learning or they're registering. It's you putting the information, creating that community that they are going to follow you. Is that correct? And then you're going to give them the experience that where then you can do, create transactions for whatever it is to grow your business. Am I on the right track or no?
Yes, I mean, it's another way of looking at it is just it's a lot of people are saying it's a digital twin, right? It's a digital twin to this world, right? So now it's like just a whole new arena of how we can engage with customers, with the story we want to tell, with the products we want to sell, with whatever we want them to see, how we want to represent ourselves as a brand.
But it also, the beauty of it all is like the openness. So again, it's about really looking at your business and seeing what would be, how could my business be represented in this new world, and going from there, because there are people that are making money, like especially in fashion, art, but also if consultation or therapy, like therapists are going into the metaverse and actually giving people therapy through virtual reality. So I'm sure that they're monetizing on that. So it's not just about one thing or the other. It's about looking at your business and saying, okay, there is a potential, and this is how I could be active in it and start experimenting and playing with it. I mean, it's important to learn it, because they are predicting that this is going to be here within the next 5 years, like full on businesses. I actually read another statistic that by 2030, there will be full-time employees in the metaverse, people working full-time within the metaverse.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So, I mean, the other thing to understand is just how this is going to shift consumer behavior. Right. So how will your consumers be spending their day? What does a day in the life look like now? And how do you get your brand in front of that in a relevant way?
Good point. For someone's going back to blockchain. For blockchain, is the permanence due to the concept of distributed ledger, meaning that each change to the ledge is saved in many places and therefore impossible to alter? That question's way over my head.
No, I know what they're saying though. I don't know if it's not necessarily saved in many places, but there is like this crazy formula that comes together to make it like concrete into that specific chain.
It's one unique code though. It's one unique code, so that and it's not, you cannot alter it or change it.
Yeah, you cannot change it. Once it's done, it's done. You can make another transaction to correct that last transaction, and then that's also going to be seen on the ledger. But blockchain's wild. I mean, that's like
that's a whole different hour.
Yeah, that's like right.
That I know.
I don't think I would raise my hand for the blockchain one, but I wouldn't mind digging in if you guys need me to. But that one's a little geeky, a little techie.
This is an interest. Who is the original creator of the metaverse?
Who is?
Well, they are attributing the term to Snow Crash, which is the sci-fi novel that we mentioned earlier. And I think it's Sin City, or I think the name was Real Life. It's one of the first multiplayer video games that was ever created. I think it was maybe late 90s. And that allowed people from all around the world to experience world and communicate with each other. So they are attributing the origins to the metaverse to that.
Like the metaverse is nothing new. It's just like a term that was coined to group all of these things that are happening together so we can flag a new industry.
Got it. That people were asking, you are a member of the Greater New York Chamber of Commerce. They do come to in person and they have been online on the networking. So are in person at our networking events, and also they've been showing up online at our networking, or when we've had the Black History Awards reception, Women's History, Small Business. So they are big supporters of the chamber. We appreciate that. Someone was asking that question.
And
also.
the wine tastings. We love the wine tastings.
Yeah, we did one at the South Africa consulate, and it was amazing. So that was a lot of fun, and they are there. And if you ever want to meet them in person, but of course you can reach out to them after this presentation. It is being recorded. We are going to send out the PowerPoint presentation. People are coming on as the presentation has been going on. So I'm just answering the question. So yes, Chamber TV, it will be on Chamber TV. You'll get a copy of the PowerPoint presentation. Some of the leadership at my company are very concerned with the human experience. How will the metaverse reframe the human-centered experiences?
I mean,
it's just an extension of it. It's
not taking it away. It's going to extend it, correct?
It's going to extend, and it's going to give us the opportunity to work with people from all around the world and actually have the feeling that we are in the same room together. And I know for some people that doesn't make sense, because right now the environments, like some of them are very cartoony, but to me it's just, in comparison to a Zoom call, it's just a whole different thing, and it's like very inspiring for your brain. And just like how you can be in an office in one day, but then you can be actually land on the moon and have a meeting on the moon. So it's like, it's just giving the whole experience a twist that is exciting for a lot of people, and also thinking of this next generation coming up and how they are growing up with this technology, and they are the future customers. And so are we. And like I said before, we are all building this. This is an opportunity. This is like the beginning of the internet in the 90s. So we have this here now, and we can all contribute to it. And we can all, it's a whole different economy, and it's all here for us, versus the internet. It was just like to be there from a big company to us. Now it's like the metaverse is ours to build. And we can all participate, and we can all like enhance it however we want.
They're starting to make touch censored things like suits. Like the gentleman Slide, who is overseeing the World Economic Forum for the metaverse, he has a company called Emerge, and he is creating like censored skin. You can, like, I could shake your hand right now, Helena, right, and you would feel it.
Yes.
That is, it's like, it's unbelievable. Someone just said, I Googled sandbox.com and a site called Merge World comes up. Is this the same?
Sandbox.io.
I'll tell you.
Okay. And while you're doing that, let me go back because I have different ways.
They could just Google Sandbox Metaverse Real Estate, and then I'm sure it would pop up, but we can give you the actual link.
It's .game.
.game. www.sandbox.game.
Where would you start as a small business, fashion, retail, sustainability, advisory, and creative agency? What platform would you start with?
Twitter and Discord.
There you go, Anna. Some people can't handle the VR goggles as it makes them dizzy. They've already addressed that. With technology, it will diminish probably the dizziness.
Mm-hmm.
Again, we are recording this. Everyone will get a copy of the presentation, and it will be on Chamber TV. How is the investment and value created within the metaverse supported? You kind of addressed that. I don't know if you want to address it again.
Can you repeat the question?
How is investment and value created within the metaverse supported?
I mean, it's kind of like with everything that we create hype around or that we create interest around, and then then you could sell it or get people to rally around it in some type of exchange.
Yeah, and
Cryptocurrency is really like what people are using to purchase digital assets with.
Right. So someone, if you can just walk this person through, and I got a couple of them in the chat. Can you like walk them through step by step, hopefully 3 steps? I need to learn how to start an NFT account and technically learn how to create and upload my own NFT.
Yeah, so first you want to get a wallet. So MetaFox, or you Google crypto wallets and do a little bit of research what you like. MetaFox is a big crypto wallet that people are using. Once you have your wallet, then you can go to NFT platforms such as OpenSea, Solana,
Rare. There's a
Rarity.
few top, like there's a top 10 NFT platforms out there that we can include. And
yeah, we'll list some sources, and then once you start, you have to open up your account with one of those, and then you create your asset wherever you want, not inside that platform. And then once you have your asset ready, you upload your asset to the platform, and you can either mint it then, which is you have to pay for the gas to actually get it on the blockchain. So once you mint it and it goes on the blockchain, then it becomes the NFT. Now it's actually a token. Before it's just work, but until it actually gets onto the blockchain and gets minted, it's not technically an NFT. So once it goes on the blockchain and gets minted, then there's the value underwritten on it. And now you can promote it to your fans or your fan base. Like, hey, check out, you can do a countdown of 7 day. In 7 days, I'm going to be selling this, and really try to run the price up, and then just keep it going like anything else.
Is blockchain a wallet?
No, blockchain is the technology a wallet is built on, though.
Got it. Someone wants to know, this is, I don't know if we have enough time, just touch on this. Can you talk about the environmental effects of NFTs and what is being done to mitigate that?
Yeah, that's a big talking point, right? Just
yeah.
The amount of energy that's used to mint something, that's where all the issue is, right? Because it's something like, I don't even know how much electricity. It's a wild, the amount.
Yeah, they've been talking about that a lot on the news.
Right. I mean, that's why Elon Musk backed away from Bitcoin, and it was because of that. Because he's like, in one way, he's saying he's an environmentalist, but yet he's using Bitcoin. But they're solving it. They're just looking at ways to use renewable energy to create versus the fossil fuels.
Any other questions? This was a really, this is the, in my 2.5 years of doing these webinars, good questions, everyone. We really hit a lot of the full circle. Any other questions? So Tiffany and Rami, you want to do a closeout on, give a, on.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, no problem. So again, the space is moving fast. No one's an expert. We definitely have a bunch of hours under our belt as far as researching, learning, exploring. We've created NFTs. We've helped artists create their own NFT projects. We've built a DAO. We've built a space inside Meta World. So if anyone is interested in any of this and wants to speak more, you're interested in doing a project, connect with us, ROTS, ROTS at ROTS Worldwide. And let's talk, let's chop it up. Let's get Web3.
Sounds great. Can you, people are asking, do you have Instagram? What's your Instagram handle?
Yes, it's just our company name. So ROTS Worldwide.
Sounds great. Israel, I'm going to, I am going to email you and connect you with Tiffany and Rami. I think
It's actually Robbie.
Robbie, I'm so sorry.
But I'm gonna
Sorry.
now, that's gonna be his new name, so I'll definitely be calling him that.
I apologize about that.
It's okay.
What else? If you can put your, you know what, before we sign out, do you have a slide with all your contact information? If not, can you put it in the chat?
I will. We'll put it in the chat. And then also we're going to send this deck out to everybody, and we're going to add a slide with some sources that we think will help people. Just even some people who are leading in the space, some thought leaders in the space, as well as just some things, some common things that we heard throughout this dialogue.
And they are, you know what, a lot of people are going to be reaching out to you. I'm reading it in the chat. So definitely reach out to them there. You know, if you have any questions, in the meanwhile, before you get the presentation from me, email me, I'll forward you their contact information. You can go to chamber.nyc. They're listed on our website, or just, you know, what's the best way? Telephone, email, what's the best way to get in contact with you two?
I just put it in the chat. Just email our main company email, and then it will get sent to us.
There you go, everyone. It's in
Rock,
there.
at Rock Worldwide.
Yeah, ROTS at rotsworldwide.com. Everyone write that down. If you have any questions, they are the two that are the expertise on this metaverse, and we are going to probably follow this up in July, take it to the next level. So thank you, both of you, so much.
Thank you, everyone.
This was amazing. Everyone is, you know, they're just sitting there saying it's a great presentation and
Good.
very informative. And I think you're gonna, hopefully this will open you up to getting a lot of new opportunities to grow your business at ROTS Worldwide, which is, you know what, they're amazing. They're very hands-on. We've been working with them. Someone just asked, last question, will GTA become a metaverse?
Well, it should definitely play inside the metaverse. GTA.
Yeah.
Why not? I mean, I think it kind of already is.
That's a
to
great
be honest.
question. Yeah. They are. I'm not sure if they're doing commerce in it, but I'm sure there's some sort of already
It has to,
plans
at some
for
point.
it. Yeah.
So we're voting yes.
Yes.
There you go. You heard it from them. So again, everyone, thank you for joining us. This was amazing presentation. We are going to probably be doing a follow-up in July to take it to the next level and, you know, continue the series, because this is the way it's going to go. And you heard it from ROTS Worldwide. This is the way that it's going to be in the next coming years, and you just heard it today, and you're on the forefront of it, which is we're probably already behind it right now.
Let's go. The whole chamber's in the forefront now. Let's get it.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're really excited. Thank you again, both of you, for
Thank you.
putting this on, and for everyone who is still on, thank you so much for joining us. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to email me. And if you have any questions, you have their contact information. And I'm just looking at it. I feel the same. The businesses could boom for money. Okay. Thank you very, very much. It was super awesome. Great responses back. So thank you again. And everyone, it is Wednesday. We're 2 days away from a weekend. If you have any questions, don't forget tomorrow, 4 o'clock, if you're interested, online networking at the Greater New York Chamber of Commerce. Go to www.chamber.nyc to RSVP if you want to just network yourself and grow your business. Thank you again, everyone.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.
Thank you all.